Oh, are we live?
Yep.
Perfect. Cool. And we're live. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Hello to my 3 people watching. All right, we're gonna let it get kind of get some people in here first before we start. And I forgot to get my iPad going, my iPad. Let's see. So I can read comments. Oh, hey, Brandon Hicks from Raleigh, North Carolina. Hi, Steven.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for being here. All right, episode 3.
Woo, woo, woo.
Thanks for coming in, guys. Outline of today. What are we doing?
So, we're going to respond to a few emails I couldn't really get to. I mean, the questions were a little, they're mostly all Justin based. So, we're going to respond to a few emails. And we also have a special guest, our friend from Arizona, Stefan. So Stefan used to be in the brokerage game, so he's going to give us a little insight on that. And he is now in the CBD oil game. It's if you guys want to check out CBD oil, if it's something you're interested in, I actually do use it.
What's up from Scotland? Good morning.
FioraCBD.com. I'm going to spell it because it's FioraCBD.com.
Really good stuff.
It's a spray. It's from farm to package. It's amazing. I use it for stress, and I have one for energy as well.
So this is my buddy, our buddy from Arizona. We lived there. She moved out with me when we got married in 2014, but I had lived there before and knew him. In 2016, he was heavy in the brokerage game with a big broker. We're not going to name names. We're not getting anybody in trouble.
Yeah.
Big brokerage in Scottsdale. If you know what it is, you know what it is. So he was there, and he was on the sales side. So he taught me things yesterday because I just thought to myself, hey, I remember, because I was talking to him about sports. He's a big sports fan. He's a Seahawks fan.
Go Seahawks.
Go Hawks. And then we have another good friend named Michael Evans, and he's a Browns fan.
Mikey.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Getting off topic. Anyways, I was like, wow, I forgot. Like, I have been in trucking now, and he was a broker because I was talking to him about it when we were hanging out sometimes. I had no idea about it because I wasn't a trucker. And so now I'm like, I'm going to use this because of what we're all going through right now in broker transparency and all that kind of stuff. It'll give a good perspective from him that actually was in the industry, and he was even teaching me things yesterday. So we're going to call him up after these emails and questions from you guys, and then I will actually do another more in-depth video, like breaking down everything with him. We'll probably do like 15 minutes with him right now. So
Yeah.
that's coming up.
Here in
That's coming up in about a half an hour.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with. Hey, Mom. Mom just got here. She's gonna watch
Mama
the babies.
Sandy's here. Hi, Mama. Her name is Gigi, according to the voice.
We call her Gigi.
Sole proprietorship, DBA LLC. Sole proprietorship. That's there was a topic about that. Everyone was commenting. Sole proprietor is the way you want to go. It's the best way to have your CPA be able to pretty much break down your write-offs.
Okay. So do you want to start?
Go
with,
Seahawks, JR.
Do you want to go with start with an email?
What's up, guys? Just tuning in. Oh yeah, go with emails. Go ahead.
We're gonna start with an email. This one is Justin. Describe your pre-purchase routine while you were deciding on a truck. How many trucks did you consider? Did you buy from a dealer, individual, and how far did you have to travel to get the Volvo? Thanks, Mike.
All right, Mike. Aero Truck Sales was the first place I was looking at. They seem to be about 10 to 15 grand higher than everybody else, but the trucks are really clean. The financing, they didn't do in-house financing. They had to get your own outside financing, and I wasn't at the point yet where I had financing lined up. So, but their trucks are really nice. They have brand new tires on them. They call them virgin rubber, which means they're brand new. They're not retreads. Great trucks. A lot of guys use them, but you have to bring your own financing. They have a couple companies they work with, but they're really high interest rates. So, talk to them a little bit. And another place you look at is truck paper. But truck paper, it's hard because they're all out everywhere, and you could find I use truck paper to get a base price of what I was looking for and the years I was looking for. And I knew I wanted an APU, so that was hard to find. And then I was just driving around Greenville and went to a place called Christopher Trucks off of 85. They had a truck that had like a hole in the back of the cab, had a hole in the exhaust, and he was like trying to sell me this truck with an automatic that barely went in reverse. And I'm like, And then I went over to the other place with Penske. They didn't even like really have any trucks for sale. And then I remember seeing when every time I left my school, I went to Greenville Tech, and it's right off of like Donaldson Center, if you know where Greenville is. Sometimes I would leave and I would see trucks lined up, and it was Ryder, and I was like, oh, Ryder, I don't know about that. I don't know if I trust their trucks or anything like that, what they were doing. But then I just went in there and walked in the office. It was like a double wide office trailer, and talked to the guy. His name was Adam, right?
It was
Adam.
It was Adam, right?
And you know him.
I don't.
Didn't you know him at the high school or something?
Apparently, I know
She
him.
went to high school with him or something like that.
I'm not
Small
really-
Greenville town.
yeah.
Anyways, so I went to Ryder Trucks, and this was a club car. They make the golf carts down in Augusta, and this was right here, 20 miles from the house. And the first one I test drove was a 720,000 mile. I wanted a Cummins motor, I wanted manual, and I wanted an APU. And all these club car trucks, they had Cummins motors, Volvos, APU. So I went with a Volvo. It was a little bit cheaper than all the other trucks. It's like 10 to 20 grand cheaper than a Peterbilt or a Cascadias were almost the same price, but I just didn't like I didn't like the Detroit and the Cascadia and the International. I didn't like the International with it. I just thought Volvo would be the best truck. I know it's frowned upon in the industry, but it was the cheapest and it had the longest year run of the same body style, so it means all the components for electrical were the same. So that's my thought process why I went with the Volvo. But I ended up buying it for $33,500, but $9,000 down, and my payment's $1,100 a month. And we're almost paid it off. We only owe $7 grand right now.
Perfect. All right, this one's from Nick. He was asking, so he is thinking about starting an expedited logistic business out of Augusta, using a 26-foot straight truck, but he has no CDL and would like to get some advice as far as the industry. What company has better leasing options in the beginning? Where does he find loads from? If you're looking for where we find loads from, check out, we just did a video about on the apps.
Honest to God, I have zero knowledge of a 26-foot box truck. I'd actually talked to a guy in that video that I posted for this live feed about XPO. He does that box truck. Maybe he will comment if he's watching, but I have zero knowledge on that. You really want a Class A CDL and your own truck and trailer to be, what that gives you. Your own truck and trailer gives you the power to name your price. Like I just got $3 a mile when everyone's protesting in Washington D.C. and I delivered 40 miles south of D.C. And the only reason I got that is because they were offering me $800 and then they went to $850. And 4 hours later, I'm going upstairs to do something. My phone's ringing, and she says, "You want me to answer?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's probably answer it because I've been bidding on this. This is the only load I've been really bidding on, and they've been trying to bid back." So they were up to like $1150, and I was at $1650. And she answers the phone. She's like, "What do you want?" I said, "Tell them $1450. I'll do it right now." And she's like, "Okay, they're doing it." And they sent it over. They asked who the driver is and took it up there. But it's a waiting game. Once they need it moved, they will pay. Even in this industry right now, when there's so many trucks out here, I guess nobody wanted to go up to Virginia. I had to deadhead all the way home, but I don't. My truck's getting great fuel mileage right now. And it cost me $212 in fuel up there and back. That's crazy. So I went a little over 890 miles. But that's my answer. I have no idea about box truck. If anybody else knows that,
please comment. Yeah.
Please comment. But I do see a lot of people commenting on the JB360 app and asking if it can go on a 26-foot box truck for like the 53 dry van loans. Thanks for that donation. Whoever did that.
Thank you. Follow the money.
But the comment is always from the broker, "No, we can't do it." So I wouldn't mess with it unless you find somebody who can really mentor you, but I'm not that guy.
You think it's better to be leased onto a carrier or go solo? How much is the insurance? We talk about insurance in a lot of the videos. And what is the cost to obtain authority, and do I need to apply for DOC and MC? That's actually a good question.
I paid $800. I went with DAT. They have a service where they will do it all for you because I had no idea what I was doing. And $800. They said your DOT and your MC come at the same time. You get incorporated with the FMCSA. You fill out all your BOC 3, your UCR. Then you have to go get your plates once you actually find a truck. So first of all, find a truck. Start getting that going, and then you can start to work on your authority. And then before your authority will go active, you have to have insurance set up. So it's kind of a timing thing. So you got to have your insurance set up, and then you can. I was working with a girl named, I think her name was Terry from DAT, and she would set it up. And
we have a special guest. Come here.
This is my middle child. He knew we were doing this video, and I told him not to come down, but he came down. You got to go back to bed, Bubba. Gigi's in the other room. Go play with Gigi. Give Mom a kiss.
Give Mom a kiss.
So give Mom a kiss. Give Mom a kiss, and
How did
Gigi's.
he come here?
Gigi came in her minivan.
I'll be back.
So anyways, it cost me $800 to set up all that. It was $1,200 for my plates for my truck, and it was a down payment for your insurance. Is first, like, it's kind of like rent, first and last month, so I paid like $1,540 a month, and it was, so it was like $3,500, so, or $3,000. Kason, come on, baby. He's hiding from mom now. All right, well, next question, Ben.
Sorry, I'm trying to grab the child.
It's okay.
Sorry, crazy children.
Go with Grandma, Kason. Or I'm taking
If
her.
he's down there, then he'll be fine.
Okay.
So I was actually texting Julie. She actually just sent another email about 10 minutes ago. She was trying to help her husband become an owner-operator. He has a CDL for over 20 years, but has been out of it for a while, wants to get back in. She's looked at several companies that help with the initial documents, et cetera, but I was wondering which companies you guys use before we make a decision. We just talked about that, so.
Yeah, we just talked about that. We
Yeah.
covered
So
that.
perfect. So we covered that for you,
My
Julie.
truck is a
I'll email you
2013. My truck's a 2013. Yeah, you can get. I guess you can get an MC. You can buy like a one that's already established for money. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Please go see Gigi.
Let's go see Gigi.
Yes, you can hang out with
Look
Gigi.
at Gigi.
No, you
Yes.
cannot. You cannot come back.
come
We're,
back
we're
in just
doing
a
a
minute.
video.
Come on.
Go see Gigi. Yeah, okay, you can come back. Go see Gigi.
Want your head? Want your
Yes,
head?
you can come back.
He spolts what he is.
Sorry, guys. We have a Kason. Kason, you can come back. Kason, do you want to say hi to the people? Come sit up here. Kason. Kason. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Guys, we got to do some kid
All right,
patrol
I'm
here.
gonna go take him right now. It's okay,
All
Mama.
right.
It's all right. Come on. We need to go upstairs. Oh,
3-year-old. 3-year-old. Congrats, JD, for getting your authority, man. Dude, okay, this Jack said Great West Casualty will do your authority paperwork for free if you obtain insurance with them. That's kind of a good deal. So Great West Casualty will do all that setup that I paid $800 for if you do insurance with them. So as long as they're giving you a good rate on insurance, the problem with insurance is only Progressive is going to be the one that touches you guys. JD, sorry, your insurance is outrageous, man. I mean, it's bad the first 2 years. Mine just got dropped to $1,100 because of the pandemic. I called them and said, hey, what's going on? And they said, hey, we'll give you a discount after I pretty much told them I'm going to go out of business if they don't. And so that was crazy. Let's see. Bees Knees Trucking, what's good? How you doing? We're going to get my buddy on the line. You want a grill from me? I'm going to start making grills once I can get my golf cart out of the garage. I'm actually going to probably work on that tomorrow because thing you learn about brokers when you come in to be an owner-operator is that they check out on Friday. Like it's beer o'clock for them about noon. Sometimes they'll hang around maybe 2 o'clock, but they're gone. So if you're not booking loads, good loads by 2 o'clock on a Friday, they're going to be gone. So sorry about the 3-year-old.
Tough love.
He whenever you tell him to do something, he will do the opposite.
Oh. I'm gonna probably have to go up there real fast. I'll be back. I'm
Why don't
sorry.
you bring some candy or something, or some bad parenting skills? No, let's do something. I used to think growing up that you were a product of your environment being raised. Like I thought that you were raised like my brother and I we're 18 months apart. He's a whole different person than I am. He's by the book. I'm kind of an entrepreneur, do my own thing, and he's Mr. Career Man, which is we were both raised the exact same way. So it's kind of like your kids are just different. Our oldest son, he's kind of like my brother. He's really by the book. He follows the rules. And then my kid you just met, who's screaming right now with his grandma, he likes to break the rules a little bit. So let's see, $2K a month, 2020 reefer trailer. That's not, wait, $2K a month for a 2020 reefer, 2018. That's not too bad. For a reefer and a truck, that's not bad. Back in 21, Great West Insurance is $75 a month. How did you decide to do dry van? I did dry van, and it has the most versatility, and it gives you, a reefer just gives you even more to worry about breaking down. That's why I didn't do it. Not only worried about your truck and everything else in your trailer and your tires, you have also worried about your reefer going down and then spoiling your load and having to claim insurance on that. So, JR, you got a granddaughter that's 5, you know what's going on. Jimmy L, man, thanks for all your comments, guys. Sorry I haven't been responding to comments lately. I've been busy. Stuff's going crazy. Had the PPP loan, trying to just get everything going and trying to make this load happen and get back home. So I'll try to get back to comments when I got some more free time. Good evening. Do you think you could start out the same way you did doing flatbed? Yeah, so I did flatbed for like a month when I first started out. A buddy of mine I went to school with, his dad owned a hardwood flooring company, custom hardwood floors, and I would deliver some of their stuff around town. Didn't go past, well, I did go to Houston like 3 times because they needed someone to run the long run. So that was the longest run I ever did. But flatbed it's a good gig. You gotta be physical. You gotta know how to tarp, which I learned. But dry van, that feels more versatile for me getting back home to see the family and being able to like name my price sometimes if they need something moved. There's a lot of stuff that can go on flatbed, they can also put in a dry van. And a lot of stuff that they will put in a dry van, they won't put in a reefer. So versatility, I think dry van is the best. That's my opinion. There's more money in reefer, there's more headache too though. So unless you got a brand new trailer, but if you got an old 2010 with a carrier unit on the front and the compressor goes out and you spoil load, your insurance, you don't really want to ever have a claim on your insurance because that's how you keep your insurance down. Were you ever a company driver? No, I never did. I went straight to my own authority. I followed a guy named Sammy. He has a channel called Make Sense, MakeKeCents, Make Sense. Look him up. He's the one that if you're not already following him, I followed all his videos and he kind of guided me how to get my own authority. I went straight to it. How long have you been in trucking? August 18th will be 2 years of my authority. So that's when my insurance is up and that's when hopefully I'll get a big, so people are already emailing me and calling me. They call you a couple months out when they know your insurance is gonna renew and they try to start working with you to get you to sign on with them. So I'm gonna start shopping insurance and of course I'll let you guys know what my end up rate is for the next year. And it's not like car insurance you can change every 6 months. It's like it's a full year. So mine was $18,000 the first year, and it went down like $200 the second year. So it was like $18,000 and change the second year. So, do you factor your loads? I don't factor my loads because I use all the apps, and they have built-in quick pay, which is anywhere from like 1.5% to 3%. But if you do factor your loads, you'll be working with a lot of smaller, if you worked off the DAT board or the truck stop board, then you'll be needing a factory company to get paid quicker. Let's go TK, out in danger.
Sorry, I'm back. Couple cuddles and a conversation and we're good.
Wells Fargo, I'm actually cutting myself my own payroll check on the 15th of each month for 2 months, and that's going to be my 75% to fulfill that PPP. And I was even thinking to myself, I don't need this PPP, but after the last couple of weeks, I do. Because I mean, just like right now, I had a deadhead home from Virginia. There should have been another load coming back, and that would have been more income. But I felt kind of weird about taking the PPP because I'm still making money, but I'm not making nearly as much as I was. So I'm still going to take the PPP and try to get the loan forgiveness. You have to, over 8 weeks, have a payroll of 75% of the loan money to get the PPP back. So that's what we're doing. We're cutting ourselves 2 checks. Werner said no. Schneider was my first pick, but it was still a no. Michael Johnson, I don't know. Just keep trying, man. Do you have any bad marks on your record? What happened? So keep giving it a whirl. Try somebody more local, somebody smaller. Stick with them for 6 months to a year and get some experience under your belt, and then you can keep going. Want to read questions? What do you got for
Sure.
emails?
Well, emails are done.
Okay.
We just had, because I responded to a couple of them anyway, which I love emails. I try to respond to them the best I can. I got crazy kids.
Michael Johnson, I saw your comment. You're almost out of school, so just keep talking to them. They're saying no right now because there's nothing to move. Like, I'm give you guys a breakdown of the industry right now. Like, there are flatbedders. If you keep track of, like, look at Rates and Lanes on Facebook and Rate Chasers on Facebook. Look up those guys, and they talk a lot about the industry. And also look at Freight.
Yeah, join some Facebook groups.
Yeah, there's another one. It's a broker one. It's called Freight Brokers or something like that. And follow those pages, and you'll kind of hear the industry. But you'll see people like that were flatbed people. They're all dropping and going to dry van, and all the big companies like JB Hunt, Swift, Knight, Schneider, all of them are taking whatever they can to keep their drivers moving. So they're not hiring anybody else because there's so many trucks right now, guys. That's why they're not hiring. So once this whole pandemic stops, that's when you're going to start being able to get on with again. But the fact that your school's still going,
That's good,
just
yeah.
keep doing that. So
I know, right?
do that and try to stick through it. And
Do you
and
want
keep
to discuss merch or no? Because we were thinking about doing merch.
you can talk about it, but that's
Yeah.
I'm talking.
I want opinions, but
Go ahead.
you
Go
want to
for
do
it.
that
I'll
later?
read questions while you do that.
I mean, we don't have to.
Michael Clark said, "Go Western Express. Trailer
I
buy,
saw
trailer buy, lease, or power only. Power only. It seems like a good idea, but you lose the buying power. You lose your asset power to say you have your own trailer, and you can go pick up a load that somebody else canceled on, and you can do it right now. Power only. You're kind of almost a company driver, but one step above. But you have all the liability of your truck, and you're pulling their trailer, and who knows if that trailer's been ran over 14 curbs that next day before you got it by the last guy, and the tire's waiting to blow. I've seen so many JB Hunt trailers on the side of the road because the tires blew out. So if you do buy a trailer, I recommend getting the self-airing system. It's called Hendrickson or Hendrix, and it airs your tires all the exact same PSI in the trailer, because the one thing that's going to make your tires pop is if one tire is at 100 PSI and the other tire is at 70 PSI. One's higher than the other, and that's going to make the inside one get hotter, and that's going to pop the tire. That's the biggest problem with blowing a tire. This system that I have on my trailer, which is the main reason I bought my trailer, it airs all the tires perfectly the same. And so if you ever lose air in one of the tires and the system starts to have to air it, it'll blink a light on the back of your trailer you can see from your cab. So I highly recommend when you buy a trailer. Those started coming out in like 2010. Get a trailer that has that Henderson air system. It airs your tires. You'll see long lines go into your valve stems on all your tires in your trailer. Buy one of those trailers.
Yeah, I had someone asked, do you get more free time being an owner operator? And somebody responded, if you book the right loads, you have more free time
Book the right loads, yeah.
as an owner operator.
You get more
So
free time.
that's actually a really good answer.
Yeah.
Someone asked if we ever come to California. No, we don't go out that far. We don't. We try to stay.
The market was great there. Sammy, the guy from Make Sense, he was doing that run back and forth when it was good back in 2018. But now we're not worth it. You're getting $1 a mile coming back to Atlanta. It's not worth the wear and tear in your truck. So I'm trying to stay around Georgia, Charlotte. I'll go up to Virginia if it's paying real good like I did yesterday. And then I'll just come home and wait for another one.
What endorsements do you have?
I only have tanker. That's the only one. When you go to take your CDL permit test, you did the permit test, you got to pass that. And then you have more time if you could do other tests. And I was in a jam to get back to school, so I just did the tanker test, and I did I have doubles and triples also. Doubles and triples, which I'm not using. I'm not a UPS driver or a FedEx driver. So I have that, and I have tanker, but I don't have hazmat. I only got to about half the test. And there's more to go with hazmat. You got fingerprints, and you got to do extra classes to get that. But right now, it doesn't benefit me, so I'm not doing it.
He does not cook in his truck, but he does make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I don't eat them. The way I stay thin, I probably eat like one big meal. I'm not thin by any means, but I don't eat a lot. I'll probably eat one big meal a day, and I'll like snack on some beef jerky and some nuts. And I'll eat a Pop-Tart or a granola bar every now and then.
How long did it take you to start getting your first loads? I remember when you got your
Right
first
off the bat, my first load ever, I remember till the day I die, I was Shaw Company up out in Dalton, right by where Sammy lives, Makes Sense guy. Dalton, Georgia up there, there's a Shaw flooring plant. It was like 22,000 pounds of laminate flooring, and I took it to Richmond, Virginia as the first load I ever took. But it was Uber Freight. So Uber Freight, when you first get your authority, they're pretty much the only company, unless new ones start doing it, that are gonna work with you right off the bat. All the other guys want 30 days to 90 days before they start letting you take their loads, which makes no sense because you just spent all this money to start your own authority and no one's gonna work with you. It's crazy, but Uber Freight's the savior in that. You're gonna take whatever you can get, but that's who we worked with in the beginning.
What's your gross revenue a month starting short?
Last year we did about 185 gross. So break that down into months. Some months are great, some months are bad.
Yeah.
But once the truck's paid off and insurance goes down, the first 2 years are gonna be your hardest. But you gotta have a good CPA, write off a lot of your insurance, all that kind of stuff. So how much time we got into it?
About 20 minutes.
We're about 20 minutes in? Okay, we'll go another 10, 15 minutes. And then thank you for everyone that subscribed. We're almost at 8,500. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Exciting.
It's awesome. We're just trying to teach you what I've learned over my first 2 years.
Yeah, we're actually, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, we're gonna take this out to the car so we can call our broker buddy.
We're going to call our buddy
From
from Arizona and get a little insight from him. He was on the sales side, so I didn't realize this. Whenever I'm talking to a broker, and email them or something, they're always, give me a second, I'll be right back, and they put you on hold, or they say, I'll call you back. So there's a carrier side and then there's a sales side. The sales side works with the customer. Carrier side is trying to get the carrier. So the sales side like has all the loads that you're trying to push and working with the actual customer, and then he's the one pushing them over to the carrier side. And there's two different divisions of these brokers, and that's who's communicating with each other. It's not like they're communicating with the customer. Customer has a locked in bid. So it's like you go to buy a used car or a new car and you go to the salesman and the salesman has to go back to the finance manager. That's how it is. It's just it's a game. And if you play the game right, you hold out on it. Eventually, that salesman is going to get to the finance manager, and the finance manager is going to be like, "Fine, just sell it to him for what it's worth," which is what we should be getting paid. But they're going to try and lowball you and get as much money as they can out of it. They're trying to push the load I took yesterday for $800, and I got it for $1,450 just by waiting for 4 hours. Questions? Anything?
No, I mean, you wanna
talk about your merchandise?
Well, I mean, we've talked about this before, so we're thinking about doing merchandise. And we've got 2 logos as of right now. So I was gonna sort of like logo A and logo B, and you guys can maybe let me know which logo you like the best, which logo you think would look best on like a hat or the back of a shirt, and give me a little insight, because I don't want to go all in with this merch thing if people are gonna be like, I wouldn't put that on my body. So we've got logo A.
You also see them like I'll do them in the
Boom.
beginning.
Yeah,
of
it's a
the
little
videos.
backwards, but yeah, we've got this one. And then
Plan on building a company. That's awesome, JD. You grossed $290 last year. That's pretty dang good, man. If I can get to those numbers, that'd be sweet, especially if the truck paid off. But yeah, I only did 185. But somebody had said pre-LD, ELD trucks, like glider kits, that you're gonna pay a lot more for those trucks because of the fact that you don't have emissions and you don't have ELD. But eventually, man, the government, like, as you can see right now with a lot of lockdowns going on in different states, I don't think that's gonna last forever. So I wouldn't invest in that. I would get something with emissions just because I don't think it's gonna last forever.
logo B. There we go. Again, backwards, but still.
Again, backwards.
There you go.
Beep.
So let me know. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, she wants to do. We're gonna try our hand in screen printing. We like to do everything ourselves, but
Well, we have someone that we are talking to right now to get some
people all say B.
B, the second one.
Yep.
Really?
Josh, 187, man, you're right there next to me.
I like it.
It wasn't a great year either. I mean, logo. Okay, everyone's saying logo B. Yeah. So logo B got like 10 votes in about a second. Cool. We'll do that one for our first run.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on PLD?
Well, once you get done with that, I was gonna say let's at least get to the trucks. So, because
Is your mom cool? Is
Yeah.
Kason okay?
yeah, he's fine.
Middle child's name is Kason because I
Buddy.
named him after my brother who's Jason and Katie, so we put those two together.
My brother's name is Kyle, so K, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of after both of our brothers.
All right, before we jump in the car and call the broker, any more questions? Anybody got anything on their mind?
Yeah.
And I think it was the guys I met yesterday at QT. If you watch this now or you watch it later, it's awesome talking to you guys, man. I forgot your name that worked for XPO, and I think it was Mark that had that red, I think it was a W900 or maybe it was a Pete. Awesome looking truck, man. But nice talking to you guys. Yeah, I met him yesterday at QT.
That's so cool.
I was fueling up before I headed up to Virginia. Fuel was $1.99 at QT. I know I need to get a fuel card, but I just like QT.
Oh yeah, I'm also gonna talk about my CBD oil really fast one more time for
Talk
seven.
about your CBD.
Fiora, CBD.com, FIORRA, CBD.com.
Oh, you got to scroll down. There's a bunch of stuff.
Free shipping, no minimum purchase. We're not sponsored or anything. It's just he's a
Road
great
Dog,
friend of mine.
Road
so.
Dog, you did 106 as a company driver. Stick with that company, man. It's not worth the headache coming out on as an OO. I just didn't want to start off with like 29 cents a mile. So
That's cute.
I went straight to my own.
We've thought about brokering.
Yeah.
Somebody has said that have we thought about yeah.
Well, like when I was looking for a load yesterday, when I was looking for this load that I just took to Virginia, I saw a load from C.H. Robinson, and I know the company that's here in Greenville, and they make kayaks. They make plastic kayaks, and he wasn't budging on like $1,200, and it was going almost to Pittsburgh area, Bedford, Pennsylvania, and I was like, man, I forgot what my number was, but it was in the 16 or 18 range right there, and it was floor loaded kayaks, and no, he was offering like 12. Anyways, I was like, why don't we just have a brokerage for all these companies that are around here? But then again, my thought process is, I think it's the customer on the other end in Bedford, Pennsylvania, who books the load, not the manufacturer. If any of you guys have any insight on that, but we definitely need to start a brokerage because it's only
Or how to even get, like, I don't even know how to get.
it's only a
to the
bond of like
customers,
$3,000.
right?
You get to go to the customers, and so
Yeah,
I left. So what I did
exactly.
is I know the company, so I reached out to them and called them and said, "Hey, I didn't say I'm talking about this load specifically because you don't want it's frowned upon. You don't want to go outside your brokers, but I just let them know like, hey, I'm a local based carrier. Here's my phone number. We're thinking we're an asset based company. You don't have to let them know how many trucks you have. Just let them know I'm here if you need me." And I did that. Haven't heard anything back, but it's only been one day. But that's the kind of thing. It's hard. Like people say get direct customers, but no one calls you back. And even the lady that I picked up vitamins for that were going to Walmart here in Greenville, she took down my number, wrote it on a sticky note, and then the next week, same exact place, I get another load from her, and I'm like, didn't call me. She's like, I don't actually deal with it. There's a big company out in whatever, somewhere up north that deals with it. I'm like, why don't you tell me that? Don't just write my name on a sticky pad. And so you got to really find the source because a lot of these companies are just satellite companies for a bigger company somewhere else. So you got to find the source of the shipping logistics manager, and that's how you get your customers. You don't just go into someone's door, knock, and say, hey, I'll move your stuff. It doesn't work that way. It's a lot harder than people make it sound. Everyone says get direct customers, a lot harder than make it sound. And then everything with this broker transparency, I think it's getting a little bit bloated up. It's more the pandemic that's killing us than it is the brokers. I know the brokers might be taking more, but right now we're going to call my buddy and he'll tell you why.
Yeah.
It's because they can, because they have 50 trucks lined up
Did you want
to
have the?
take the load. So why would they sell it for any cheaper? You know. But no, when we're on the phone, we're talking about it.
Oh.
He's kind of giving us some points to talk about while I'm gonna call him on the phone. But we're gonna go jump in a truck and
Hopefully, maybe go sing some karaoke.
sing some karaoke.
Hopefully, I don't know.
Do you think I will have an issue getting insurance on a 26 o'clock? It's 3 years of driving. I don't know what 26 o'clock means. Maybe you had a typo there. First time to start trucking. Did you know anything about trucking? No, I didn't. I never even stepped in a semi before. I went to school, so.
Yeah, but you're good at everything.
I liked cars. I always worked on my own cars, so I kind of picked up the concept of it. But it was weird for me to learn the transmission of the manual. I recommend getting a manual if you're buying your own truck, because it's not synchronized. So you can float gears, which was pretty cool. I never even knew that was possible until I learned it.
So funny.
Yeah.
It's like literally just one day he's like, oh, by the way, I'm gonna go be a trucker. I was like, oh,
From
okay.
John, will I start a small fleet and hire the kids? I really, if I could, I want my kids to have a retirement and a pension. I would like them to have a government job. She doesn't want them to be a policeman. Fireman's really hard to be. It's just my own personal
It's
belief.
dangerous.
We don't have a retirement.
Thank you
plan.
for all of those people out there that are policemen and
Yeah,
firemen
firemen.
and all.
Thanks we do.
in the
thank you for all you guys that are
military.
truckers like me, but I'm gonna have to work until I can't work anymore to keep the lifestyle going, and hopefully they'll get scholarships or whatever they want to do with college if they want to go. But I would rather than be a welder or have like a specific trade like that. Trucking is a great life because I've made it the best I can, but you're one big breakdown away or an accident away of everything being taken from you. So
That's scary.
that's scary. That's our biggest scare. We don't need broker caps and transparency. We need some shippers to be held accountable for detention and stuff like that.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
true, but like it's not the shipper because the people they hire. It's the people in these warehouses. It's like
The receiver.
power grab,
the
and
ones
it's
that
like
come
a-
and pick it up, like get it
like
off
they
the
got it
truck.
off much. I don't know. Thanks for that donation,
Oh, I missed it.
by the way. That's on there.
Aw, thank you.
JD, thanks a lot, man. JD, sorry.
Oh, there it
I'm
is.
going blind.
Aw, thank you.
But, it's the whole industry. It's a supply, like everyone says, it's supply and demand.
It is.
If you really want to have the power, you got to start your own brokerage and be like an asset-based brokerage and have your own loads. But we'll talk to my buddy real quick, and he'll get you guys to understand the Shark Tank, not Shark Tank, Boiler Room. If you ever watched that movie with Vin Diesel, that's kind of how I picture it. It's just
Never in my life.
sell it to the customer, tell them you'll get it covered for $2,000, and then shoot it out to these carriers and get it covered for the cheapest you possibly can because there's a margin. That's what they're trying to do. And I don't blame them because let me give you guys a little insight here. I told her the other day we're going to try and start a brokerage, and her response was, "Well, if we sell it for $2,000." I said, if we sell it for $2,000, then we could sell it to them for $9,000. I'm like, that's exactly the problem we're having right now. You're trying to take $1,100 out of a $2,000 loan.
But it made me realize. But it did make me kind of realize why brokers think the way they do. Because I mean, like that's what I would. That's,
but there's salesmen. There's car salesmen that are selling it. But if you really want to be in control of your own destiny, you have to have a brokerage and that, or have some good brokers that are. It would be nice to see the transparency, but they're not going to do it. It's a free market. It's free enterprise.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen like that. I know it's hard to hear that, but like the best thing you can do is sit and play that. Like if you go to a car dealership and they say the truck's $60,000 and you're willing to pay $45,000, and you go there, you test it out. You don't let them know you have a trade. You don't have to know anything like that. You don't give them anything on you, and you at the end of the day, they're like, okay, well we can do it 57, and you leave. What do they end up doing? They end up coming down to 52. So that's what you got to do. Thank you for that donation. You got to take your time. With these loads, it's the same way you would do buying a car and wait till it's 0 hour, and you got to be prepared to also walk away and not get the car, not get the truck, or not get the load.
Yeah.
Because they will call you, or they'll call you the next day because they have the power to. We'll talk to my buddy on the phone right now. He'll tell you a little bit about the fact that these customers will say, hey, doesn't need to move until this date, so they have a week and a half or a week to move that load. So the ball's in their court, not yours. When it comes down to they need that load moved today, that's when they start paying, and they'll still play the game. Thank you so much for that donation. I can't even see, but I'm blind. Sorry, guys. Thanks for having a donation. So that's
Christian.
What I can tell you about being an owner-operator is even right now, you can make the most money for your truck. Like I got $2,000 taking a load from like Allentown, PA area up to Massachusetts area, like south of Boston, because I waited. I just waited. I saw the load. When it comes down to like an hour and a half before it needs to be picked up and you're 20 miles away, boom, it jumps. So like, it might have been even full price. They might have been getting $2,000, but they need it moved for that customer and they'll pay you. That's where you get money. When you take the load for $800 and they make $1,200, that's where you guys are getting mad, but it's our own fault because we're just thinking, oh, I got to get something right now. And you take a load and you're jacking yourself out of $1,200. So it's not always like that, but there's always a good $500 I would say on the table, unless it's a really short load and that kind of thing. But
what he said was the shipper's the one that will set the price, the broker's the one trying to move it, and then the trucker's the one that does move it. Each is trying to make money.
yeah, but the shipper doesn't always make the price. Like we'll call my buddy and he'll say
there's enough money to.
He will tell you sometimes these they're called customers, not shipper. We call them customers, but they will say, we're gonna get the phone off this little rack here.
Yeah, and I gotta get it on here so we can re-comment.
Hey.
So I'm gonna put it on my phone.
All right, she's gonna put it on her phone. But yeah, the customer makes the rates, and I forgot what I was talking about. But thank you, Grandma, for watching the kids. Sorry, it's gonna be dark for a second. We're gonna go out and get in her car.
The mommy mobile.
Yeah, it's all about timing though, guys. If they have time to move the load, then they won't come up much on the price. If they need that load moved because somebody drops off of it and it was supposed to move it yesterday, they will come up on the price. By the way, Truckin' Wife always likes to sing karaoke. Always. All right, so we'll call our broker friend and get a little insight from him.
Oh, I guess I don't know. So comments will be on your screen, so you're gonna have to run through them because if we're gonna call Stefan, then should we turn some more lights on?
You can't really see anything, right?
You what?
Can't really see anything. I thought you'd be able to see better here.
Well, here, turn this down and put it in front of it. You've got this light.
Does that work?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
That works better.
All right, so we're gonna call our buddy real fast.
And you guys let us know if you can hear him.
Yeah.
He was a broker from 2006.
So you're gonna have to read your
Field
comments.
trip. That's it.
Field trip.
Field trip.
So you're gonna have to read the comments on there. So.
This might be copyrighted, so we're gonna turn the music down.
Well, I was gonna turn it.
Oh, the phone volume.
Can you hear that?
Where's the comments at?
They just pop up right there. You're gonna have to read them quick.
What's going on, buddy?
Seven.
Can you hear me okay? We can hear you pretty good. We're trying to see if they can hear us. So where's the comments? Okay, there you go.
So when they pop up right here, you're gonna have to read them.
Josh
quick.
says yes, we can hear it. So
perfect. Okay, so
excellent.
Just so everyone watching knows, we are unable to read comments as of right now.
No, we can read 'em.
Can we?
Going for a ride and I don't have to drive. Yay.
Yeah.
I don't have to drive, but.
I'm driving.
All right, Steph. Sorry, man. You're on live, buddy. We're going to put our seatbelts on. We're going to karaoke.
Hopefully.
Ugh.
We'll see.
Sorry about
Nice. Well, hey, yeah, first and foremost, I want to say much props to you and Katie for putting this wonderful show on for everybody, just to really not just expose, but enlighten, and all the new CDL drivers that are out there that are looking to get their license, or for the owners that are currently out there, to let them know what the rates are moving around there. It's really fascinating what you guys are doing, just to help open this up for that sector of the business.
Well, thanks for giving us
And I'll
your,
be happy to.
thanks for giving us your insight, because you were in the industry for a couple of years out there in Scottsdale. And let's see, you worked on the sales side from a 3PL. And just give us a run through what's the sales side compared to the carrier side?
All right, certainly. So yeah, as you mentioned, I worked for a large 3PL in Scottsdale, and I witnessed negotiations, between operations and carriers, as well as I personally negotiated with companies that were moving the freight. So really, there are two sides. Like you mentioned earlier, you definitely have your operations side, which is the carriers who have relationships with the truckers, and then you have the sales side, the brokers that are working with the customer, the shipper. And so it's two totally different categories. Now, I know that with the new apps and everything that's out there, the technology has advanced quite a bit, but these brokers are very much involved with the pricing. As far as what the actual shipper, the customer, is willing to pay, that will change dramatically over the time of when it's going to be shipped. So, for example, if a shipper doesn't need something out for a week, the price is going to be set pretty darn low. But if it comes to the last day or the day of, that price is going to go way up. So, being patient, waiting for your full asking price is definitely well advisable. It's kind of what you've been preaching to everybody out there. And I can just tell you that the loads, they change immensely. When they're scrambling to find somebody to move the product, that load will go up, almost double. And,
Yep.
Brokers,
Wow.
they'll take anywhere from 20, 30% profits easily all day. And it's a shady side, because you're literally telling your customer that you have trucks in, ready to go for that lane, and all of a sudden you've got, nothing to cover that lane, and so you got to go to your carrier side, and they're telling their truck drivers, like, hey, I need this covered. I can do it for this. We can do it for this price, and it just completely goes away from any ethics there could be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of doing good business, because it's a total lie. It's all in the gray. It's just out of thin air. Hey, I got trucks here. They're ready to go. But really, you're scrambling to find one, and you got the other side that's negotiating with the carriers. So
that's it. And that's when they start calling you and telling you, hey, we'll take it for what you're offering, is because they need that move.
Because you've held out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all a timing game. And then, so say a typical load going from, like you said, maybe you had a Atlanta to Houston load, and if they didn't need it moved for a week, they would pay back in, because you were doing it in 2016, 2017, and that was right after an election year, so it was still a bad market. 2018 is when it took off. Your phone just stopped.
right.
Okay. There
Right, and as I mentioned, that with the new apps, the technology, it can certainly kind of butt out the broker. But I can tell you, just from the companies out there, and I'm not going to mention the company's name, but the companies out there, there are the 3PLs that you're working with. There's two sides, and everyone needs to know on the carrier side that someone else is negotiating your rate with the actual shipper. So there's more to it than just one other person on the other side of the line. That's really, something that needs to be known. And again, what you've been telling these guys on your channel about being patient, waiting for your best rate, that's the best advice that you can really give to these guys out there, because it's pretty crazy how the rate will change within just a matter of hours, literally.
And so in that personal office you worked in, you had some guys that were doing pretty well.
Oh yeah, I remember one of the carriers that he got real upset with us. He called in and said, "Oh, you guys out there in Scottsdale driving your Ferraris and Bugattis, making all this money." And hey, I'll tell you, I'll be the first to agree. Like, it was slimy, it was shady. I'm not proud to say that I was on the broker side. I did it for some time, made some pretty good money myself while doing it, and built some great relationships. But at the end of the day, it's so gray. There's so much that's pulled out. of thin air, literally, that's just not even factual, and they'll just be, used to get you to lower your rate or to move the shipment.
And you were saying something else, like a customer, or like the big companies, like you'd have like a Swift or a JB Hunt, or some of the mega carriers would call you and say, hey, that's just way too low for my driver. Can you come up a couple $100? And you'd say, sorry, we can't. And then 30 minutes later, they would call you back and say, okay, I'll take it. I need to move my driver, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that just goes back to what I was saying about like telling the customer that you have the truck ready when you really don't. And that's where it gets tricky, because the carrier side, the operations, they don't have it covered. But the sales side, what I was doing was telling the customer that it's covered. So that would dramatically change the rate, because if the load is ready to be moved, then great, you got a truck, awesome. But a lot of times it wasn't the fact. It was just a lot of fluff. I guess the best way I could say it.
Just sell the customer, say it's going to be picked up, and then go find a truck for the cheapest you can.
Yeah, exactly. And I just can't reiterate enough how good a job you're doing with telling these guys about being patient, waiting on these loads. Obviously, you got to put food on the table and move your freight. But at the end of the day, it's like these guys will pay you more if you wait and hold out.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of drivers out there. There's a lot of lanes that are going to get covered, but there's certainly enough for everybody to eat out there. And with this whole COVID thing loosening up, I just pray for you guys to be able to get some more pay for your load.
Yeah, because right now it wouldn't be hard finding a truck anywhere in the U.S. right now. You need something moved. Yeah. There's a truck, so it's bad for everyone. Everyone's getting a little upset, and they're wanting broker transparency, and I think that I'm not saying I'm all for that, but it's a free market. You can't blame them for what they're doing, but the thing you can do to fight back it is walk out like you're buying a car. Just walk away from the deal and wait till they come back to you. If they don't come back to you, be prepared to sit. Yeah. So it's great talking to you, man. Katie was plugging your CBD oil.
Yes.
We're not getting any sponsors from this, guys. He's in the CBD business.
Pain, stress, or anxiety. Check us out. We do free shipping online.
Spell it for us. Fiora. F.
How do you spell it, Steph?
It's FIORRACBD.com.
CBD.com.
And
great guy.
Farm to shelf, premium stuff.
Most people that are using the CBD, it's for pain, stress, anxiety. So if you have any of that in your life, or have any of your loved ones to do, definitely check us out.
Cool.
Any questions,
all right. Well, we'll do another full, more in-depth video for this week, and we'll put that on the
hopefully we can come on the
channel.
See you soon.
And you stay easy out there in Arizona. Are you guys opened up? You got your bars and restaurants open, or what's going on?
Yeah, I was going through our shops up in Carefree, which is the Cave Creek area.
Uh-oh.
We lost the feed. Let's see if we get it back. Are we back? Can anybody see us still? Anybody?
Oh no, we lost everybody for a minute.
So pull down and put your little screen down so we can see your face.
I can't see. I gotta figure out where I'm pulling into.
Are we back?
I don't know.
It says you're back. Okay, cool.
Are we back? Yeah.
It said unable to connect for a second, so I'm sorry about that, guys. We normally have pretty good service. We're not like outside of town or nothing.
No.
All right. So yeah, tell me what you guys thought about that. Tell me if you'd like a more in-depth video from him, or if that was enough for you guys. Say your thing.
Oh, sorry. Turn off my light so I'm not like.
You're back. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know how long we were gone, but
Oops. Okay,
there we go. We're back.
Oh, let me get my phone so I can read comments.
Okay, and thank you everyone for all those donations. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry we're missing some comments and things like that.
With these rates, yes, I have anxiety. Yeah, hit them up. CBD, Fiora CBD.
I'm gonna actually comment from.
Who was that? That was our buddy from Arizona, long time buddy for about the last 15 years. PE64, thank you so much, man. You are.
Is your wife?
You are a great.
Is it your wife's driving?
PE64 just donated again.
Aww,
thanks a lot, man. My California friend out there.
Next time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. We'll actually use that for karaoke for her tonight. CBD okay for drug testing? Yeah, it doesn't have THC.
Yeah. So it has the it's like not the medical effects, but it has like all the good stuff out of it without the actual effects of marijuana.
You'd be okay. I would imagine if you're drinking maybe like 2 gallons of it might be bad for you, or it might be showing up something. But I don't do any of that stuff. She does it. I don't smoke marijuana.
I don't smoke marijuana, but I take the CBD oil. I do take it for stress. and it has seemed to help. I take 3 squirts a day. It's amazing. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Okay, so Bees Knees. Yeah, I'm gonna do just me and him kind of walking through a couple different lanes, and so everyone doesn't know what a lane is. It's like a point A to point B. We're gonna do a couple that he worked because we had a more in-depth talk about it when I talked to him about doing this little thing on live, and so I'll do it more in-depth, kind of that side of the sales side and the carrier side and just the interaction between them. So when I was calling these brokers, I was thinking when they JD, man, thanks a lot for those donations.
I see you and raise you. God, thanks so much.
But so we were doing I forgot, I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
I forgot what I was talking about. Someone remind me what I was talking about. Oh, the carrier and the sales side. So when I would call on a load, they'll put you on hold, or they'll say, "Let me check and let me put that offer in." And what they're really doing is just going right across the hallway to another offer. PE64 just trying to kill him. Look at, he's going back
What
up.
do you do? No,
They're
he's
raising
not.
it in.
Stop.
But anyway, so it's not. I thought
I
they
love
had
it.
direct
Thank
contact
you.
with the customer rep, which is the customer, which I guarantee sometimes they do. But it seems like they pretty much have a locked-in price of that load, and they tell them, and the customer just says, "I need this picked up by today, or I need this picked up in the next 3 days," and so they have that locked-in $2,000 price. And so when you call in and they're saying, "Okay, I have all in $1,100 on that," so they're putting $900 in their pocket, which is fine. I mean, they have a brokerage, they have a bond. That's what they're trying to do. But if you really want to make your truck worthwhile, offer 16 and give them. I mean, he was saying on average they were making 25 to 30% of their loads, and then they were trying to pull for more. So JD's trying to. These guys are going to
All
a
in.
bidding war, all in. Thank you guys so much. It really
Thank you guys
helps.
so much for the support. It really is amazing.
Justin isn't going to work on Monday now. Thank you. Yeah, that's true. If there's a good load, I will be working on Monday. My brother's coming into town. I don't know how he feels about it. He watches these videos, so I love you, brother. His name is Jason. I'm Justin, of course. But we're going to try and get him on the video because we got T-ball on Saturday, and I guarantee that's going to be... we might live feed T-ball. Who knows?
That's at 6.
Get a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old running around bases.
12.
But so we are right now at this little place in Simpsonville, if anybody can see that.
Oh yeah, 2 birds.
And you know why we're here? Because someone likes to sing a lot.
I don't know if they're gonna have it because of the whole COVID thing.
But
we're gonna try.
no, she likes to sing karaoke, so that's we're gonna be there.
I like to call it karaoke.
I was going to
I'm
jump
cheesy.
in, but too rich for my blood. Hey, we don't expect the money from you guys. We appreciate it so much. It goes. I mean, she always hates when I do this, but all the proceeds from this channel are Katie's proceeds. They go to Katie, and she can get her nails done and buy what she wants. So thank you, everyone that donates. It's
Thank you
really
so
awesome.
much. It means
goes
so
to-
much to me and the boys because it.
She'll sometimes have a breakdown. She'll call me and say, "I feel like I don't contribute to our
Oh,
finances."
stop! You're gonna make me cry.
And I say, you contribute more than anything. You know how much daycare costs for 3
Stop.
crazy little boys? Yeah, she
I lost it today.
contributes a lot.
I
so.
just that and they're
Anybody
not
that has a
babies
stay-at-home
anymore.
mom, they understand that their job is harder than ours. Because I mean, I'll be home sometimes and not getting a load, and I have to just take a step outside and be like, my kids are insane. I have to stop power
Do
bombing.
you have Cash App? No, I have Venmo, but I don't have Cash App.
We need to get Cash App. Yeah.
I downloaded Cash App, but I don't know how it works.
Yeah. If you still want to be company, no, I don't want to be a company driver. I like the flexibility. My son's 4 to school. Watch your channel for her.
Keep buying those shirts.
Thank you for
She's
watching
weird.
for her. Very well behaved boys. They are pretty good boys. They
They
want
have
what
their
they want.
moments,
Yeah, they
but
want what they want.
they are
sometimes.
amazing
PE64. I call. Oh my goodness. All these donations. Thanks,
Dude,
PE64.
Guys.
That's well, we're trying to get the Cash App. A lot of people, YouTube takes half the donations and half the monetization of the whole channel, which is fine because we wouldn't even have a platform.
We wouldn't
if
have it.
didn't
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And it is great for the monetary to help her have some income
fold.
every month, but it's also great that we get to teach you guys what I've learned these 2 years
And get the truth out there
and
about
get the
it,
truth
too.
out there. It's not even the truth. It just people don't realize it. You see a load and you think because they have let me give you one more piece of insight here. They have all the information on you. They know where you're at. They know where you've been, where you're dropping, because they track you.
Because
So
they your location.
They know how many
Location has to be
trucks.
turned on.
So I've even come to the point sometimes where I'm not having a good day getting a load. I'll turn off my location services for all the apps for an hour or so because they know where you're at. They know how many trucks are there because they're tracking you all the time. So the ball's in their court. And they know you're outside of where you normally live and you need to get somewhere else, and they'll use that against you. So think about that. What these guys, it's the way of technology. They know where you're at. So they have the ball in their court.
Yes, the some restaurants are open for dine-in. A lot of restaurants are open for dine-in. The ones I mean, I think
God
all
bless
of
you,
them are open
P64.
for-
Thanks so much for the donations. Thanks.
Oh my goodness!
Thanks for your donation
Thank
too.
you.
P64, we really appreciate it, man. You being a Cali person, I'm sorry for your one of my best friends in the world, Keegan Pitts, is out there. JD.
JD,
he's
show.
showing up again. But
Dude.
JD, where are you from, buddy? Thanks so much too.
Yeah, where are you?
But P64, I grew up in Anaheim, right off of Brookers and Beach Boulevard. If you know, you probably know what that is. But it's changed a lot since I've been there, and the way that they're still locking you guys down. I know it's for the best. You guys have a huge population and close grouped people, but
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like we need to get out in the sunshine and get this, I don't know, get this going. But appreciate it from all you guys. And where are you from, JD? Oh, Sac. Okay. So we used to drive through Sac all the time and go to Heavenly and go to Sierra and go.
They got money out
went
there
to
in
went to
California,
North
baby.
Star too. Thank you guys so much for your donations. But both you Cali guys, man, fighting over. We should take you guys to casino with us one time when you come out to South Carolina.
Oh, that or like when we go out to
Christian, look at Christian jumping in there.
screw it, I'm jumping in too.
Christian, where are you from? You just one up to everybody. Our socialist government. Can you read that comment? Our socialist
I'm
government. So guys, when the comments come on my phone, which is LifeFeed, they like fade away, and I
Our
can't read them.
socialist government refused to open up restaurants in Maryland.
Maryland, it's good. I think
I
it's
mean,
gonna come.
I feel like it depends on like the death rate in your state. Like if you're having like a really bad, if it's like spreading a lot, then they're keeping it closed. But if it's not so bad, then they're letting it open up. Because in South Carolina, it's not as bad as like Florida and like
We haven't had
New
that many
York.
cases here, but it's also the warmer climate compared to the cold.
True.
And we just had that
Well,
cold
Florida was
front come
bad.
through.
Florida was bad though.
Florida wasn't that bad.
I thought it was bad. Someone on Facebook said it was bad, but I don't know.
Thank you, No New.
I
No
love
new
it.
friends with the Drake down there. I love it. Thanks for the
is that
donations.
Drake?
No new friends. No new friends. No new friends. No new friends. No.
No idea.
You're Mrs. Karaoke.
Well, yeah, but I don't know
Fullerton.
that
We used to go to EV Free Church. Fullerton. I used to play soccer tournaments out there too when I lived down there. Florida's bad. Florida's doing a good thing where they're like segregating their young people from their old people. That's, I guess, the best thing they can do because the older people definitely have a bigger
Higher,
chance of
yeah,
getting
chances.
infected by this.
Well, it affecting them. It affects
But we
them
can't keep our
worse.
country closed forever. I mean, but I've
No.
definitely seen volumes jumping up.
National Security Agency spying
I'll be
on
40 in
everyone.
June, and she just turned 29 for the fourth or fifth time, I think.
Fourth time.
Fourth time
29?
turning 29.
34. I'm 34.
Fifth time turned 29. Miami is bad. You guys have a lot of cases out there in Miami?
I think we just.
Yes, Christian, thank you so much. You guys did make the truck payment. Thank you very much.
Let's see. You guys are beyond great. Can you recommend any good Peterbilt dealerships? Also, I live in Suffolk.
Private, if you're going to buy a Pete, unless you
Island,
want
New
to
York.
pay the 85,000 or 100 grand, I would go with somebody that's had the truck and they're getting out of the business and they have done it in frame and they have records of that truck. I would go with a private party on a Pete
I hope the economy takes off.
because the dealership really knows what they have. And for a 389 with a
Oh,
big
here you
hood,
go.
you're going to be paying some money.
Yeah.
It's a great truck though. If you have the money to pay it and it's
I'd
got
buy
great record
used.
and it's got new tires and it's got an
Yeah.
APU, that's a great truck. I mean, I would love to have it, but I'm trying to take care of my wife's expensive habits.
I love how you say that, but like.
W900, great truck. That's
I
what
ain't that expensive.
that JD. That's a great truck. That's what it's a pretty truck too. That's what Makes Sense drives.
Long nose P or KW?
Long nose Peter KW. I mean, Pete has the Prestige. Pete is the Escalade, which is what Katie drives.
Was it hard to finance without the experience?
Yes, CH Brown is the company that financed me. The Agricultural Farm Bureau, they have some good financing too, but they wouldn't work with me. But it's pretty much if you have 30% down is what they'll do. They don't care what your credit score is. If you can put 30% down, then they know if you wreck that truck and your insurance has to pay out or you don't do good in business, they'll still be able to sell that truck and for a profit and get back their money. So you're gonna have to put about 30% down unless you go through a credit union, which would be the best idea. What are the comments we got?
I'm sorry, I was trying to get it to where it would stay on because it kept turning off. Hello from Louisiana. Everyone says we look young. Miami's bad. National security agencies are spying on everyone while they're stuck at home. It's a conspiracy.
There's a lot of conspiracies going out there, but I really think it was just a bad
good wife.
SARS, a bad flu thing that came out, and then everyone got scared, which we should be. And they projected it was going to be a lot worse than it was, which is great that it wasn't as bad as it was supposed to be. But now there's two different sides, and I feel like this country's really getting divided against each other. I feel like we need to all remember where we live and that we're all the same people in the same country and come together. There's different views on everything, but we
Just because, and this is my main thing,
all
like
are the same
I'm
people.
huge to be like, I don't have to agree with you to respect like what you believe. Like I can respect whatever someone believes. I don't have to agree with it, but I still will respect someone on their beliefs because I can agree to
but
disagree.
we're all the same people. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you were raised in California like I was or raised in South Carolina like she was. We all just want to have my new motive in life. Before I met her, my motive in life was just where am I going to travel to and,
Party,
and
party,
what kind
party.
of truck or fast car can I get. Then I meet
What kind of
her
hot
and we have
girl
our
you can
kids. And now my whole life is
Kids.
memories with these kids,
Yep.
building these memories and just making them have the kind of life that I want them to have. So,
I think everyone's goal in life is the same thing, and that's happiness. Everyone just wants to be happy.
but the social media and the TV has made our eyes see things that a Lamborghini, a nice huge house on the water, things that are unobtainable. Yeah, they're obtainable if you want to put in the work and you can do it. There's people that can do it.
Oh yeah.
But the statistics say it's not as easy as you can. So stay within your means and just be happy every day you wake up and the sun's shining and you're breathing.
I agree with PE64. The best thing to do is to keep your distance, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay home if you're sick. California opens the beaches, which is a bad idea. I don't know. I mean,
opening the beaches, if you stay apart from each other and it's
if you're 6 feet apart,
supposedly sunshine and the UV rays kill it. So I mean that might be a good thing, but if everyone's congregating and drinking and sharing
my thing is if you're
volleyballs,
home,
then that's not a
stay
good
sick.
idea.
If you're home, if you're sick, stay home is what I meant.
I know you guys might not like Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan just interviewed a doctor 2 days ago. If you watch a couple, he has 2 channels. He has a Joe Rogan channel, JRE the Powerful, which is like the whole clip, which is sometimes is like 3 hours long, which I can't. I mean, if I'm really bored in an 8-hour run, I might watch it. But there's another one called JRE Clips, and it's like the best clips of that interview. And this doctor he interviewed talks about vitamin D and how that has a big playing in your immune system against this
send that to my
virus.
mom?
So,
Did
that what your
you
mom-
send that video to my mom about
video?
vitamin D?
I did.
Yeah.
So people
She told me
that
about
have a
it.
good intake of vitamin D seem to be able to fend off this epidemic or pandemic better than other people, which kind of makes sense. 'cause
How
it's
did you-
UV.
How did you get the shop to let you rebuild your engine?
That shop is the best shop you can come across. Griffin, Georgia, South Atlanta.
mean,
Makes sense once again.
They met him and they treated him like family.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I went in there to get my overhead done. Which, if you guys hear
Yeah.
people say I'm getting your overhead done, that means your every engine's an inline 6, from a Cat to a Detroit to a Cummins to a PACCAR to whatever. Overhead is your head, and there's rocker arms that push down your valves, and they need to be adjusted. They put in little what the heck, I'm missing the name of these feeler pins that go in between them, and it gives you a reading of how much gap is in between that touching, and that needs to be adjusted every, I think it's 50,000 miles or I think it's 50,000 miles after you're done your whole overhaul, but it's like maybe 500,000 miles. But anyways, this company, Haggai, Haggai in Griffin, Georgia, and if you ever need anything done, Detroit Cummins is their specialty, but Detroit they can do it too.
feeler
They
gauge.
let me know. Feeler gauge, there you go, thanks.
Sorry, you're welcome.
But you go in there and they say if you're good with tools and you know what you're
It was
doing,
JD, not
we will
me.
guide you through what you're doing and help you get your parts and everything. They're just a really family oriented, good Christian. I don't think one religion's better than the other, but they were good hearted Christian people that just know that I had a family and were there for me like family.
Yeah.
And they let me do everything. But when I came to something where I was like, I don't know where to put this
Are
gear
you
in or
talking
put the
about-
cam
yes,
back
we're
in.
talking about Hey Guy.
Hey guy, yep. They and I stayed outside. It was, my God, the week I went there, they couldn't get me in for Christmas, so I had to go in February when they opened back up after.
He got so sick, dude.
It was so cold. Like the first 3 days, my engine's ripped apart. I can't use my APU to run heat, so I bought this little tiny heater, and they gave me an extension cord from the. But I was freezing to death. But it wasn't freezing. I had the little heater, but I just had to like stay close to it. But the first 3 days, ripping it apart was pretty cold.
Cassius King says his left arm's getting a ton of vitamin D, right arm not so much.
But yeah, so they let me rebuild the engine. It ended up costing me, I bought a brand new head, I bought all OEM parts and miscellaneous parts. I did all my idlers, all new belts, new water pump, pretty much replaced the whole front of the engine because I just didn't want to go back in there. And and that cost me new coolant nozzles, everything. It was like $14,000, just under $14,000. So typically it would cost you about 20, mid 20s sometimes. So doing it myself really saved me. Plus it taught me, I know everything inside that engine now.
Oh yeah.
And how to do it. I don't have the tools to do some things like taking out head bolts, which is pretty much the hardest thing that I've ever done. I had like a 5-foot breaker bar to get these things out. But anyways, they are a great company.
Sorry.
If you buy a truck and you get a Cummins, that's where you're going to want to go. Jerry.
Hello from Michigan, 45-year driver named Randy. He
What's up, Randy?
says, great channel. Thank you so much. New York only gets a day a week of sun. Oh, that's sad.
It seems like that's the thing about New York having some new cases, and then for some reason they put the older population back into the nursing homes. I don't know what's going on, but it definitely seems that it spreads more in the cold, just like the flu, just like the regular flu. Everything spreads more in the cold.
Somebody said it's hard to get sunlight when you're put in a chilly box. Oops. JD says, all right, guys, go have fun.
All right, we love you guys. I'm gonna do a video with my buddy out there in Arizona. If you guys know that broker company, you know it's a pretty big company in Scottsdale, Arizona, 3PL. And so I'll do a video with him, kind of break down the process of him talking to the customer, getting set up with the rate, and then I thought that rate would change, but it's pretty much locked. And they're trying to make the biggest margin they can. And when it comes close to the date when it needs it moved, that's when they get closer to that customer rate. So. Yeah. That's the things, but it's a free market, guys. I know transparency brokerage, we want that, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. And guys, thank you so much for all those donations.
Oh yeah, thank you guys so much.
Pays for Katie's karaoke and her nails. So we will see you again next Saturday, God willing. God bless everybody, and yeah, just keep trucking. Any questions, and anybody I meet, I've met so many people at truck stops now, and I appreciate every one of you guys. I want to talk to you.
I love that. That's so neat.
It's awesome. So we'll keep it coming. Let's see what I get Monday. Tomorrow I'm going to work on the house a little bit, and then Monday we'll get back at it. And let's all pray that this country and the whole world gets back to where we need to be, where we can enjoy life, enjoy the sun, and enjoy our summer, hopefully. Yeah. But hey, T-ball starts on Thursday.
I'm so excited.
Can't wait. Love you guys.
Bye,
Take care.
guys. Thank you.
And I got to figure out how to turn this off.
You do this every time.
Because I don't know how. I think I turned the phone this way. Orientation is locked.
Oh.
All right, guys. Well, until we figure out how to... Oh, there's X. There we go.
There's an X.